Good morning, good morning. It is Friday, the 3rd of January, 2025. You are watching Morning Brew on Politics Social with me, Graham Hughes. How you all doing? How's everyone in the chat? Sorry keeping you waiting there. Did the whole thing of, getting set up, getting ready to go, pressing the go live button, and it going, oh, sorry, your YouTube account has become disconnected from your software that you use for recording this shit. And I'm like, oh, thanks, cool, thanks for letting me know. Just as I press the go live button. Never mind. Anyway, so 5 minutes of faffing around. And we're back. Okay, so big shout out to Benjamin, to Jeff True in there, to my mum. Hi, mum. To, who else? We got Jim Bob Robob in there. We got Mike Higgins. We got Katrina Bryce. We got Gin Stitcher and Steve. We got loads of Steve S. We got loads of people in the chat this morning. If you'd like to join them, just hit the subscribe button. Boom, and we'll go. So first of all, two news stories I want to really cover today. The first one is hilarious. The second one, not so hilarious, but they both concern the post-parliamentary careers of various politicians who go out and into the wild and attempt to do things like a normal person. And we're going to talk about Jonathan Gullis first, because this week a story emerged that at 177, it'll be 181 now, 181 days after being ousted as an MP for Stoke-on-Trent, the posh howler monkey has been unsuccessful at getting a job. He blames the wokevarty. He blames the left-wing bias in teaching, because obviously normal people want, a half-shaven howler monkey, a posh half-shaven howler monkey to be teaching their children things like intolerance and racism and bigotry and being an all-round gobshite. Well, actually, they don't. But also, he was never really that qualified to start with. And this is what I want to talk about, first of all. I obviously talk a lot on this channel about private schools and how they create this two-tier system where it is quite simply you either, if you are mediocre like myself, you are, but you aspire to be a famous actor, actress, director, writer, author, presenter on TV, or whatever, any kind of role in the public eye, and you're mediocre, and you went to a state school, you're stuffed. Forget about it. Forget that dream. Just stick it in a box and throw it in the basement somewhere, because it's never going to happen. Sorry, not in this country. It might happen in another country, but not in this country. You might have a couple of lucky breaks in another country if you lived in, I don't know, America or Argentina or America, Australia or somewhere. But in this country, we are so riddled with classism that there are nearly 1,200 household names on my private school mafia list. And I add to them every day. Would you like to know who I added yesterday? Rob Brydon. Rob Brydon, and when I looked up his school, it turned out Catherine Zeta-Jones also went to his school. So I added Rob Brydon and Catherine Zeta-Jones. It is literally everyone you see on TV. I'm not kidding. Anyway, Jonathan Gullis went to private school, which explains a lot, right? Oh, by the way, if you did go to a state school and you are amazingly talented and a little bit lucky, you might make it. You might just make it. But if you went to private school and you're painfully mediocre, the sky is the limit. The sky is literally the limit, as we saw with Jonathan Gullis, who managed to get some kind of Secretary of State role for education, shadow undersecretary. I don't know. It was a weird time. It was during the Truss primacy or whatever when she was in charge, and it didn't last for very long. But the fact that he got himself into a position to be a government minister, even a junior government minister, at the age of like 30 is just galling. It is absolutely galling to the rest of us who are like, but he's shit, but he's mediocre. What does he do? He just goes around calling his own constituents scrotes, which he did. Wonder why he didn't get re-elected. And now he's been cast into the real world. He can't get a job. And he can't have the same sort of, excuses a lot of us who say, well, we can't work because of perhaps disability or because we're struggling with mental health problems. He hasn't got that excuse. And even if he was, daddy could pay for him to go and get some therapy, unlike the rest of us who have to wait 16 months. But the fact that he's out there and he's complaining about it on the news, like he's going, "Oh, I can't get a job. I can't get a job. It's been 6 months now. I can't get a job." And I'm like, bloody hell! This is how the other side lives, isn't it? The rest of us are forced to work or forced to look for jobs in order to get our benefits, and he is sitting there going, "Well, I think that the job should come to me, really." Or in his case, because he's a howler monkey, you see. But just it's slightly painful. It is slightly painful. Okay, Sebastian Payne, another private school twat, was on Sky last night. Says, "Gary, Sebastian doesn't sound like he went to a private school with a name like Sebastian. We'll have to double check that one." The same Jonathan Gullis who in government would attack unemployed people on benefits. Yes, sir, that exact same one, because he's a gobshite. Rob Brydon and Zeta Jones. "I know Dumbarton House in Swansea. It's not remotely a private school in the English sense." Well, okay, explain to me, it came up on Wikipedia as it being a private school. Like, did their parents have to pay for them to go to the school? Did they get a bursary? How does it work? Like, is it paid for by the LEA in a weird way or not paid for? But let me know. Let me know how it works. Graham, is that a new hat? Yes, it is. Thank you. The old one was really stinky after I spent 3 weeks toiling in the mud in the tropics and sweating profusely into it. Actually, getting my history wrong, Turkey didn't have a border in World War II. Braverman must have been thinking of the 15th century when Italian merchant republics did, says Benjamin. Oh, this is the story that Suella Braverman, who's still an MP, she's still an MP, she's still got a job, privately educated, of course, and she is just disgraceful. She's an idiot, but she was presenting LBC yesterday, and she said that there was a border. No, there was better than a border. There was a wall. That Turkey built a wall between Turkey and Italy, or Italy built a wall between Turkey and Italy. There's like 7 countries between Turkey and Italy. As anyone who has travelled overland from Italy to Turkey on at least 2 separate occasions will be able to tell you. Copperberg said, I love the fact that private school toffs are moaning taxing education is illegal in the EU. Yeah, but I mean, in Finland, which is part of the EU, private schools are illegal. So it makes sense to say that taxing schools is illegal. I never expected the leopards to eat my face. It's not a tough factory, if that's what you're getting at. One of my girlfriends went to Dumbarton. Okay, all right. Oh, you got a vested interest then, don't you? And her dad was a steel worker and her mum was a nurse. Yeah, but they still paid for it. They paid for it. I mean, it gives you a fast track. And, you know, it obviously helped Rob Brydon and Catherine Zeta-Jones, who are very talented people. Don't get me wrong. I mean, a lot of the people on that list are all right. Well, actually, the minority are all right. The majority are. Honestly, go and have a look. Privateschoolmafia.com, and I haven't updated it yet to include Rob Brydon and Catherine Zeta-Jones on the online version, but on my spreadsheet, my little spreadsheet, they are there now. And the thing is with privateschoolmafia.com, I'm just trying to make a point. Because I get this all the time. You might have seen it if you watch me doing the show, the Sunday Roast, the other day with Professor Tim, the Brexiter, and Liz from Scott Farming. What's it called? Save British Farming. Yeah, Liz from Save British Farming, and both of them who went to private school, and so did Alex, who was presenting as well. Although he was on my side, but both of them were like, no. You know, when I said that, nearly everyone you see on TV went to private school. They're like, no, they didn't. No, they didn't. Graham, don't be talking rubbish. Liz Webster. Jesus Christ, got there in the end. I've only just woken up. God, story of my life. Maybe she was playing Risk over Christmas while shit-faced on Chateau Neuf du Pape. Is that a absolutely fabulous reference? I don't know. I used to like Stephen Fry, and turns out he's a transphobe. Yeah, Stephen Fry's not in our good books at the moment, Sarah. This is a guy who in the 80s said, I'm gay, but it's all right because I'm celibate. So, you know, I'm no threat to you. Like, come on. I don't think he was ever a particularly great ally, to be honest with you, to the cause. But there you go. Can't we just Google a private school and pretend we went to it? Lol, baby. Liz Webster says private school makes you different. Yes, it puts you on a fast track for life. It puts you in circles that you would otherwise, not be in swimming pools that you would otherwise not swim in. It's as simple as that. You get to meet people. And plus, it's not what you know. It's not who you know. It's what you know about who you know. And if you went to boarding school with them, you know a lot of shit about them. You know a lot of shit about them at the most embarrassing time of their entire lives. I don't get sidetracked talking about private schools, but I do see them as posh borstals and a grotesquely unfair system in a democracy in which 93% of us are muscled out from the top jobs by the 7% who went to private school. And if you don't believe that's the case, well, go and have a look at privateschoolmafia.com and get back to me and go, no, Graham, I still believe that I can make a list of 1,200 people in the public eye in this country who all went to state school. Yeah, good luck with that. Anyway, moving on. David saying Stephen Fry a transphobe. He made a documentary about people suffering homophobic attack. Yes, he did. But then again, in the 1980s, Mel Gibson made a movie about how bad apartheid was. Didn't stop him being a massive anti-Semite, did it? Someone else I could think who did that in the 80s. Anyway, moving on. Not a movie, but whatever. So the other thing I want to talk about this morning with you all is Nick Clegg. Cleggy, from Last of the Summer Wine. Went down the hill in the bathtub, famously. Friends with Nora Batty, whatever her name was. Anyway, listen, he's leaving Meta, right? So he was the president of global affairs at Meta. But he's stepping down in just before Trump takes over the White House, and he's going to be replaced by a guy called Joel Kaplan, who's a gobshite. Worse than the gobshite, he's a Trumpy gobshite. He is he previously served as Deputy Chief of Staff in the White House during George W. Bush's administration, and he's known for handling the company's relationships with Republicans. So basically, he is, MAGA Republican, worked in, George W.'s White House, and he is going to be the president of global affairs for Facebook. So, I know a lot of you have, it's nice to hear that Cleggy's moving on, doing something else horrible with his life, supporting Tories, supporting Zuckerberg, but now he's moved on. But the person who's replaced him is even worse, which is always the worry, isn't it? Whenever you say, hey, I've got an idea, why don't we take out such and such person? I don't mean repeat that. And they go, no, don't do that, because they might get replaced with someone even worse. And you're like, oh, shit, I didn't think of that. But, it happens. Oh, shit, I just hit the camera there. I didn't mean to do that. Sorry. Yeah, sorry. Anyway, so he's been replaced by this guy who is, a freaking nightmare. Like, he's going to be so far up Trump's arse, etc., etc. And it means that very soon, Facebook might become even more unusable than it already is. Pages you might like. I keep seeing brutalist architecture on YouTube now because I responded to a piece of brutalist architecture with the gif of the guy from Team America being sick everywhere. And since then, it decided that I really like brutalist architecture. So every day I had to look at these disgusting, horrible, grey, blocky buildings with no windows that are made by robots, seriously, because no human with emotion and love and context would ever create something as hideous as these actual blocks of actual concrete that look like actual Nazi submarine bases. But that's not the point. The point is that I didn't want to see them, but obviously because I reacted to one of them in a negative way, it couldn't sense that I had reacted to it in a negative way. It just noticed that I reacted to it. So it went, oh shit, Graham loves this stuff. I'm going to make him see it every fucking day. One of the reasons why I don't like living in a city like, I don't know, Birmingham is because there's just too much of that concrete shit around and it just depresses the living shit out of me. Also, it's Birmingham. Moving on. My state school was crap, says Plum Duff. Indeed. Christopher says, doesn't help that private schools don't have to deal with Ofsted or follow a step behind national curriculum. Indeed. Someone should make a movie about that. A private school's first Ofsted inspection. It'd be like The Wicker Man, but set in a private school. Anyway, moving on. I all got a bit carried away listening to Matthew Wright on LBC. What a breath of fresh air in the morning. Yeah, I like Matthew Wright. He's all right. He's all right. See what I did there? And much preferable to that absolute gobshite Nick Ferrari, privately educated, of course. Did you know that over 60% of the presenters, the full-time presenters on LBC, are privately educated? 60%? It's funny that, isn't it? I went to music college, got laughed at literally by my teachers and mentors, brutal. Ended up an electrician in a dark satanic mill. I'm really sorry, Peter Music, that happened to you, and it's shit, because I've always said you never forget a good teacher, but you never forgive a bad one either. And when a teacher is demoralizing to their students and just makes everyone feel like shit and makes you feel stupid and little and small, it puts you off that subject and can put you off that subject for life. I don't think I'll ever forgive my maths teacher from school. I was in the top set. I was really good at maths. I loved maths. I found it really interesting. I love solving logic problems, and I saw quadratic equations as logic problems because I'm a nerd. And then I just got a shit teacher for GCSE, and I absolutely hated it, and I've hated it ever since. I did shit in my A-level, in my GCSEs in math, and dropped it like a hot stone as soon as I could. And it was because of a teacher who couldn't teach. He wasn't a bad guy. Didn't beat us or throw, the what's it called? The white blackboards. The blackboard wipers that they used to have, the block ones that were like wood with like felt on one side. Do you remember them? Yeah. We had a teacher who used to throw them at us if we weren't paying attention, but he didn't do anything like that. He was just a shit teacher. He just couldn't teach to save his fucking life, but it just put me off the subject. Whereas for history and politics, something that I wasn't that interested in when I was doing my GCSEs, I got a really good history teacher, and I kept that teacher on until A-level, and he was also doing politics as well. And he just made the learning a joy, because it was he was a foul-mouthed scouser who just told us as it was, which you need when you're learning about history. You don't want it to be all like, oh, well, we had our reasons for doing stuff. He'll just say, bunch of gobshites. That's why they did it. Bunch of gobshites, mate. You write that down on your bit of paper. Bunch of gobshites, which is good. Ian Payne is an example of privately educated person whose parents should get a refund. Yes, I had a terrible maths teacher in every year of school. I learned more maths working on tills once I was working. Indeed, Daylight Dave, I was let down by my state school. And Daylight Dave and Pete's Music and everyone else who was let down by their state school. Yeah, this is the problem, because do you know what would really, really help? Do you know what would really, really help state schools all over the country? A millionaire on the PTA. A millionaire on the Board of Governors. Just one each. There's enough of them. There's enough millionaires to have a one each on each board, whether they're a parent or a grandparent, I guess. Don't know how it works. But all those people who have that kind of money send their kids to private school because they see people like Jonathan Gullis become a member, not just a member of parliament, but actually become part of our government of this country, part of the governance of this country at the age of 30, and they go with someone who is as useless as that guy, as useless as that. I can't say this because my mum's watching. As useless as that KFC on the moon. If he can reach the higher echelons of the British establishment, being that useless, being that thick, being that untalented, then I have to send my kid, who might turn out to be thick and untalented, to this, see you next Tuesday farm in order to ensure that they get the best possible start in life. Not the best possible start, mate, the best possible life, because that's the way it works. But then when these people try to enter the real world, the world that the rest of us occupy, the world of job seeking and benefits and trying to, make our way in the world, then suddenly doors are closed. Now with Jonathan Gullis, he shut his own doors by being such a monumental gobshite while he was a MP. He would say the most obnoxious things. He would just be grotesque towards politicians, towards the people of his constituency. And it's not like potential employers are not going to type his name into Google and see what comes up in terms of him being a complete gobshite. Like, of course they're going to do that. What the hell? What the hell? Anyway, so there you go. Happy New Year to all, says Audrey, right? Happy New Year, mate. We've also got Alistair Kerr there. Yep, I had that too. Good teacher, the bad ones turn me off the subject he taught. Yeah. It absolutely does. And it's so frustrating because, especially when it's a subject that you like, when it's a subject that, I mean, I'm very much against being forced to do subjects for GCSE apart from English and maths. I think English and maths are your foundation. You need to be able to spell. You need to be able to add up to make your way in life. You don't need quadratic equations. You don't need to be able to write the sonnets of Shakespeare from memory. That's not important. But being able to read and write, very, very, and do sums, very important in life, right? However, everything else, I think it should be up to the kids. And it pisses me off no end that people have to do RE. Kids have to waste their time in their GCSE years doing RE. And I'm sorry I'm going to offend some people watching this, I know, but it really should not be a subject that you have to do. I mean, I don't think it should be a subject that you can do. What do you want to do? What did you do for your A-levels? Well, I got an A star, well, a 9. I got a 9 in I learnt some fairy stories from the Bronze Age. Okay, cool. And I remembered those fairy stories from the Bronze Age. Tell me more. Well, you see, before we had any kind of understanding of what was really going on with anything, really, we managed to understand the most complex questions we've ever asked ourselves. You know, why are we here? Where did it all begin? What happens after you die? We answered it all correctly in the Bronze Age. No notes. Okay, well, what was the conclusion that they came to in the Bronze Age in all these different civilizations around the world all at the same time? A wizard did it. What? A wizard, a magic man in the sky, or maybe up a mountain, or maybe in the North Pole, or maybe somewhere you just can't get to. A magic person made it all with magic. There you go. Right, no more questions, please. For another 1,500 years, you're not allowed to question anything ever, or we'll tie you to a stake and set fire to you. Anyway, so yeah, I think that religion should be taught within the context of history, and I think that geography should be taught within the context of history as well, human geography. How countries evolved over the years and all the border disputes and all the wars and things like that were caused by geography more than anything else. Yeah, I seriously believe that you can't understand history unless you understand geography. And I'll go so far as you can't understand history if you don't understand what people believed, and I get that. But to have that as a separate GCSE for me, nah, no. Especially as until this year, you couldn't do British Sign Language as a GCSE. I mean, just, a language that hundreds of thousands of people in this country use every day to communicate. You couldn't get a GCSE in that, but you could get a GCSE in Latin. Good one. Nice. And, if you're doing languages at university, I can understand you have, Latin's a good foundation of language. It's good, But, at the same time, no one speaks it. No one uses it to communicate every day. And it's fine. Like, okay, you can have it as a GCSE. And you know what? You can have RE as a GCSE if you want. That's fine. Just don't make it compulsory. I know Latin's not compulsory, but RE is often compulsory. And languages as well. Some schools, my school, we had to do a language at GCSE. I was bloody crap at them. And it just made me feel crap that I was crap at this subject. Why are you making kids do things they feel crap about? Why are you making children feel crap about themselves and thinking, oh God, I'm an idiot. I can't do this. That person over there makes it look really easy. I must be a dickhead. Just don't make them do it. Just don't make them do it. Anyway, moving on. I'm all for teaching all religions and closing faith schools, inoculation against indoctrination. I don't think it's a completely compulsory GCSE. That's my point on RE. I mean, you can have it as a subject, I guess. I wish I'd done RE for GCSEs. Seems like an easy pass. Well, there you go. If RE was done how it's supposed to be, it might be helpful for learning about other cultures. Mine was just Christianity is real. Yeah, it's Christian propaganda. For most kids who go through RE, it's Christian propaganda. And when you do learn about other languages, it's in comparison with Christianity. And if you look at the syllabus, it's like 90% Christianity. It's like 10% other faiths and miscellaneous. The faiths of the vast majority of the actual world. Miscellaneous. Set in 1936 with Oswald Mosley in the back shirt, so much anti-Jew hatred entered the Battle of Cable Street when the working class people turned on the Toff. The Toff that was running the British Union of Fascists at the time, Oswald Mosley. Counterpoint, if more people did GCSE RE, maybe the Jesus hates the scary transers narrative would be a bust. No, I don't think it would be Gallifreyan Men, because you get people who go to church every week who believe this stuff, or they think they believe this stuff, and just do what they're told. And they've never read the book. And this is a conversation. I had this conversation with Catherine the other day. I've read the Bible. I was a choir boy. I've read the Bible. I went through it. We had to hide a copy of the Bible when the in-laws were over Christmas, because I said, Kat, can you put that away somewhere? And she's like, "What? Why?" I said, "Because I've literally highlighted all the messed up passages. I've highlighted all the wrong bits with a highlighter a long time ago." And she's got, "Oh my God, really? What? And as a result, I'm a militant atheist, and that was because of reading the freaking Bible. And you get people who go to church every week and they've never read the thing, which is just bonkers. Like, that's the maddest thing, isn't it? Imagine saying you're the biggest Star Wars fan in the world, and then someone says, "But yeah, have you seen the movies?" No. Have you read the books? No. Well, what have you done? Well, I've seen little snippets from the movie. I've seen the trailer for the movie, with all the good bits from the movies. I've seen that. Okay, but nothing else? No. Do you know about Jar Jar Binks? No, never heard of him. I'm guessing it was edited out of the highlight clip that you saw. Yeah, don't know anything about Jar Jar Binks. Don't know what it is, but when I die, I'm definitely going to go to Cloud City. Wherever that is. Best bin. Anyway, moving on. 4 years of French in school, nothing. First year of living in France, fluent, says Brian. Yes. That's a very good point. And we could go into this, but trying to learn a language in this country is a fucking nightmare. Unless you have a genius brain, a brain that's set up in a way that allows you to be a polyglot. And I know some people who can do it, and they're like wizards to me. But if you live somewhere and you're forced to speak that language every day, your brain clicks into place and you can do it. If you are learning a language for 2 hours a week, and then you spend the rest of the time not talking it and not thinking it either, not thinking about, "Oh, well, I need to do this, I need to be able to communicate." Yep, it just doesn't work. Rather than RE, schools should teach empathy, morals, and critical thinking. Copper Bird, you are 100% correctamundo. I couldn't agree with you more. Jeannie says, "I did not like it at first, but glad I did. To know other religions, important thing to know to understand those folk." Martin says, "The only bits of the Bible most people know are select passages picked out by the person at the front of the church." Yes. Martin, absolutely. And they haven't bothered to read the book. This is the most frustrating thing. And I get that. I get the fact that you're not going to read the user's manual for your new pressure washer. Do you know what I mean? You're not going to read the... Why would you read the manual? You could just, if something goes wrong, you go on the internet and check it out, what it says. Went a bit northern then. Get on internet and just check it out. But you can do that, can't you? But this is the manual that people are using to decide what's moral and what's not. But they're not, are they? They're just doing what they're told, aren't they? Johnny Copperhead, thank you very much for the £5 super chat, my friend. That is very kind of you. First super chat of the day. Sorry, a bit late. I forgive you. Look at that. How magnanimous. How magnum PI. Glad Suella confirmed that she's a moron. I always knew her to be. She's just so thick. She was on the news. She was on the radio. And, sometimes I make mistakes like this. I've done this before. I've got footage of me in India, right? And I'm talking to my camera, as I do. And I go... I've just arrived here in Egypt, and it's just and it's a really amazing thing, and blah 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 blah. And I can't wait to go and explore more of Delhi and see it. And it wasn't until I played it back that I realised that I got there and I said Egypt rather than bloody India. I was in India, but for some reason The word that came out my mouth is Egypt. It does happen. It does happen. But when you set yourself up as someone who's like, private school, Tory MP, infallible, incapable of making any mistakes, and then you do something like that, it's just, oh my God. She said the word Italy twice as well, and I think she meant Greece. Wow. But, problem is, I don't think you could give British school kids a French mistress each, bound to be Ofsted rules against it. Well, Brian, we will see. We will see. Jane away says, meet a trans person, you'll generally stop attacking us. Never meet a trans person, easy to hate us. Actual experience, always better, says Jane Way. Yeah, and you're absolutely right, Jane Way, because, like, this is why Mark Twain famously probably never said, but apparently said, that travel is fatal to prejudice. Because when you travel, you meet people from all walks of life, all over the world. And it's very difficult to be a bigot against a whole group of people when you have friends who are Jewish, friends who are Muslim, friends who are African, friends who are Asian, friends who are trans, friends who are gay, friends who are lesbians, friends who, from different minorities in life. But what happens with a lot of people in the UK is that they have their little group of friends who are all white, and they went to school with them, and they meet them in the pub every week for 67 years, and that's their little bubble. That's their little, whoa, Andrew Dixon, what? Andrew Dixon just dropped in a £100 super chat. That's a mega chat. Oh my word, thank you so much. First time catching a live stream in 2025. Just in case you dropped an F-bomb earlier, here's a little donation. Thank you so much, Andrew Dixon. Whoa, thank you. Happy New Year, mate. Oh, wow. Honestly, thank you so much. Thank you. I'm getting a bit panicky about the state of the channel at the moment, especially since I went away and Phil doesn't do the shows in the morning anymore. Thank you, Andrew. Thank you. Anyway, mistresses in the other sense. What? A giga chat. A giga chat. That is fantastic. Thank you so much. Braveman is worse than that, says Christopher Bowles. She was also Cambridge and Paris Sorbonne educated. Yeah, as someone who's been given all of the, grotesque entitlement in life that she just, she doesn't deserve. And yet she wants to make life worse for the rest of us. And that is the personification of a shitty person. And I think that when she loses her job as an MP, which she probably will do in the next election, I think she's going to defect to Reform, actually. I think her husband's already defected to Reform, which is a bit weird because I think her husband's Jewish. Her husband's Jewish. So why would you defect to a group of people who don't like Jews? I wish someone would read a history book. The Bible, a history book. Wikipedia page about someone. Read it. Read these things. Read them. Why do we have to read them and then spread the word about something? Something I want to say before I go, and I'm gonna hang on a bit now because Andrew's dropped £100 in the super chat fund, and that is just outstanding. That is just absolutely outstanding. Thank you very much. A ton of thanks, Andrew Dixon. It's amazing. Thank you. Rachel Grieg says, RE is super important as it teaches people about other cultures. Yeah, but you could learn it not in the context of RE. Cultures are more than just the religion. Cultures are also the languages they speak, the dress, their history. You want to learn about culture of a group. It's rather unhelpful to learn the religion because the people of Uzbekistan are the Muslims of Uzbekistan are very, very different from the Muslims of Morocco and the Muslims of Indonesia. Like, that culturally, they're worlds apart. They just happen to share the same religion. Which is my problem with it. It's my problem with it. It's my problem, not yours. It's all right. So I'm going to just... okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to move that to there while I'm just finding around. Sorry. What have we got here? I'm going to make some breakfast, smoked salmon and fried onions. Anyone says Gallifreyan man. Okay, thanks. Yeah, cheers. Cheers for that. Do the Brevmans not understand that the Reform Party hate them? No, they don't seem to get it. They don't. They just don't seem to get it, my friend. I don't know what you can do or say or whatever to to make them understand that they're literally rooting for the leopards eating people's faces. Thing. What's it called? The party. So I just copied something over, and it's just there it is. Braveman reminds me of a rhino's bum. That's so random. Is that because it sounds a bit like that? I don't know. Let's have a look. Let's have a look here. Sorry, I'm just fanning around because I was gonna listen. Since I'm gonna stay on for a little bit because I've just been given £100 super chat. I'm gonna just do a couple of things if you bear with me. I'm sorry if this does a weird thing now. It might do. I don't want it to, but it might do. Oh, there you go. No, it's fine. It's fine. I have got a little. Let's have a look on this. Oh, cool. Okay. So if I just do this, I have got something right here. This is for Andrew. All right. Let me just. There you go. Look, I've just made this for you. Look. Da-da-da! Ultra chat. It's better than super chat. It's an ultra. There you go. Thank you very much. That took too long, but it was worth it. It was worth it, I feel. Should we go and have a look at the papers? Got another super chat. Thank you very much, Alistair Kerr. We donation for you to get that flu finished off with Graham. Thanks. I'm going to cough. Let me turn the mic off. I'm going to cough. Oh, blimey. It's no fun having a bloody cough. Anyway, so I'm going to just take us over to the papers. I hope this works. There we go. It's sort of worked, I guess. I need to just move this over a little bit here. There you go. So here are the papers. The papers for tomorrow. And for those of you reading on small screens, I will read through what it says. We've got the Times leading with the New Orleans attacker had planned to kill his own family, which is very disturbing. Reform of social care is pushed back again, and this is the long-delayed overhaul until 2028. It's been pushed back. This is really not a good story. Really not a good story. A dig at the NHS from the Daily Mail, and there's a picture of Meghan Markle on both pictures, or Meghan Windsor, I guess her name is these days. Get it right, Graham. Let's just call her Meghan. The wonderful Princess Meghan. We've got the Times there and the Daily Mail. The Times writes underneath, the Duchess of Sussex has released the trailer for her new Netflix cookery series, With Love, Meghan. And that's what it's called. And the Daily Mail's take on that is, here's Meghan back in the second division of celebrity making soups and cakes for her pals by Jan Moore. Because we don't like Meghan. I wonder why all these right-wing grifters don't like Meghan. The Guardian with some serious news on the front cover. Ministers plan biggest shake-up of adult social care for decades. Long overdue, but still it's going to be long overdue because it's not going to come around until 2028, which is too late for a lot of people. But this is Labour. This is the Labour. Should we call them meticulous Labour? They're very meticulous. But there you go. Health toll on Grenfell firefighters revealed. And then we've got this is because that building was made of toxic cladding and toxic building materials. Probably had asbestos in it as well. I don't know. Can we stop making buildings out of poison, please? Can we stop making buildings out of stuff that kills you? FBI, New Year terror suspect acted alone. The idea that he was part of a larger cell has been dismissed by the FBI. Millions face bill to install heat pumps in net zero push. And this is almost all homes will have to have a heat pump under plans to change Britain's domestic heating systems and cut emissions, with new gas boilers set to become illegal in the future. Yeah, well, I mean, it's in the future. It's in the future. But if they give subsidies for the heat pumps, I'm all for them because you use less energy. VE and VJ Day, 80 years on. call out for this is the Mirror. I don't know, telling old people to get off their arses and pay their respects to the thing that they did. Okay. And then we've got Hollywood Housewife. We've got the derogatory title there from the Daily Telegraph. And Labour blocks grooming gang probe. Starmer avoids scrutiny of his role at the CPS, joins scandal hindered by racism fears. This is a call from the gobshite who's in charge of the privately educated gobshite who's in charge of the Tory party at the moment, Kemi Badenoch. She is saying that there should be a probe into the fact that the CPS didn't prosecute these grooming gangs when they only got the chance to do that when they were presented with evidence from the police and local magistrates or whatever, and that didn't happen because of the corruption at the level of the councils and the police service meant that the CPS never saw it. So it's not like, but they're trying to make out this narrative that Keir Starmer, when he was the head of the criminal prosecution service, that he was doing, that he was letting rape gangs off the hook or something. And I love that. Duke Vengeance, shut up, Daily Fail, nobody cares. That was held for moderation, but I unmoderated it. Right, moving on. We've got the Star. Apparently there's going to be a cold snap. We could be going down to -7 in some places. One Angry Pagan, thank you so much for the super chat, One Angry Pagan. Blessed Friggs Day, may her love and wisdom guide all ye badgers. Thank you so much, One Angry Pagan. And also, I've sent a message to you, I don't know if you got back to me yet, on the Discord server to say about sending a book to you. So can you get back to me on that? Because if you have already got in touch with me about that, I don't know. And also, anyone who's won a prize, just check your spam folders, because I might have written to you and it might have gone into your spam folder. I don't know. But just check out if it's there. Science is evidently better than religion because of evidence. My version of God is based on consciousness. Well, there you go. And then the Daily Star's twice on. I don't know why it came up twice there. Kemi, inquiry into UK's rape gang is long overdue, which is so rich of the Tories because they were in charge when all this came out. They could have done an inquiry, but they chose not to. But now they're saying, oh, Labour should do it. Labour should do that thing that we didn't do. They keep doing this. They're like, well, if we were in charge, we would have done it. Like, you were in charge for 14 fucking years and you didn't do any of this shit. So shut up. Insipid, that's a good word, isn't it? Insipid growth means tax rises are almost inevitable, economists warn. There you go. Tax rises for all. Hurrah! And the super chat little animation came up there without me asking it to, but that's fine. I'm sure someone else will drop a couple of quid in. Already responded on Discord. Woo! Thanks for One Angry Pagan. I'll get that sorted after the gig, after the show. Rachel says, you're literally contradicting yourself now. You're saying that traveling and discovering other religions and cultures is a good thing. Yes, I'm saying being obligated to learn about religion for your GCSEs is a bad thing. I'm saying that learning about religion is a good thing. I read the Bible and it made me go, this is a load of bollocks, isn't it? Whereas people who haven't read the Bible have set their whole life and the whole structure of their morality around this book that they haven't bothered to read, which I find irritating. That's my point. But yeah, travel is fantastic. Go traveling. So Kemi is saying that the Tories should be thoroughly investigated for that kind of misconduct. Yes, Johan. Maybe she doesn't know what she's saying, but yeah, she's basically saying that the Tories, who are horrific sex pests, who have got away with it for decades because of their, protected by people higher up. Anyway. Where is the Discord link, says Robin Moore. Robin, if you are a member of this channel or you are a patron, you should be able to get that access to that link. But you know what? I'll go and put it back on because it might have expired. I don't know. But if you are a member, I will do a little post that's members only. That'll have the link in there for you. But yeah, I really need to start using Discord more this year, because I kind of fell away last year a little bit. But there you go. Sorry about that. I'm really just not a monotheist, says One Angry Pagan. The Christopher Ball says the Tories couldn't even keep their whip away from Charlie Elfico, and literally ran a candidate who they knew had allegations against them in 2019. Yeah, they don't give a shit. They don't give a shit. Badenoch put Toby Young in the House of Lords. He has a lot to say about women, says Captain. Yeah. Also, his daddy made a phone call and got him into Oxford, even though he didn't have the grades. Yeah, I love the rich. Oh, God, they're so filthy, aren't they? You got to love them. Every freaking TV show is about posh rich people. Unless it's an excuse to laugh at people who haven't got any money. Or make them feel bad about not having any money. And go, oh, it's all right, they've got no money because they've got a heart of gold. Anyway, I'm green. Does that mean I'm a member? Yeah, you got a star, so you should be a member. Yeah, so have a look. I'll do that now. I'll put the Discord link into if you go into like the channel and you go to messages or whatever wall. I don't know. The bit where it tells you what's happening. Jim Bob Robob and Spot of twice they the camels before the third hour, and so the Midianites went forth to ram Gilead in Kadesh Bil Gilmath by Shor Ethra Regalon to the house of Gash Bil Bethel Batha. He who. Thanks for that, Jim Bob. Let's give Graham lots of difficult words to say in the morning. Hey, veg pie. Thank you very much. Please keep talking, Graham. Don't make me listen to Jeremy Hunt. Oh my God, Jeremy Hunt on LBC. Jesus Christ. Thanks very much for the super chat, veg pie. Really appreciate it. But I do have to go because I've got to give people this link to the Discord server and I've got to prep for the 1 o'clock show today. With Phil, we're going to be talking about all the shit and nonsense that's been going on in the UK this week and what we're going to be looking forward to over the next year in terms of what the Labour are looking to do and what we expect the Tories to do in response. It's all so predictable. But yeah, if you'd like to join us for that, the agenda is 1 o'clock today, 1 o'clock this afternoon, me and Phil Morehouse, and we'll be talking about all that shit. And then at 9:30 this evening, the Friday Night Social. Please join us for that. I'm missing the panto. To do the Friday Night Social tonight. So I'm supposed to be going to the panto with the family, and I'm actually missing it because I'm going to be doing the show with you. So please come along to it. Please just listen along. I don't know, just stick a headphone in and while you're pretending to watch the TV. We'll be dissecting the holiday period. And I guess the holiday period's over this weekend, isn't it? I have to put my tree away. Good job, because the lights, you can't even see the lights going on there, can you? Yeah, I need to change the batteries and that. I won't be able to catch that on live, but I can definitely catch up later. Thank you, power to the people. Good stuff. Right, okay, so thank you so much. You won Panto Sucks. Don't do that. Catherine might be listening. You won Panto Sucks. Bye-bye, everyone. Bye, Graham. Okay, so listen, have a great morning. I'm sorry that you might have to listen to James O'Brien. Not James O'Brien, Jeremy Hunt. Listen, I'll tell you what, privately educated, of course. Both of them. If you want to watch some TV, I think Apple TV is like free this weekend. I really recommend Severance. It's dark and hilarious and weird and good. And yeah, I really recommend it on Apple TV. Slow Horses as well. You could have a binge. You could just have a binge. Silo is brilliant. There's a new episode of Silo out today. And currently working our way through Ted Lasso, which I'm really enjoying. So yeah, some things to watch that aren't necessarily me or Jeremy Hunt. Available options. I don't know if that comes in tomorrow or after or today, but have a look. Oh no, it doesn't. See what you did there. Powers of the people. Right, listen, take care, and until next time, I'll say give us a like on the way out. Thank you so much for the super chat, especially Andrew. Andrew, you are an absolute bloody legend, mate. Thank you. And until next time, I'll say hello, good evening, welcome, and goodbye.